my name's Beth. I'm part of the Employability Service here at ARU, and I'm a work placements advisor and employer engagement advisor, and I work as part of the placements team. And I'm joined by Bethan today, who's going to introduce herself.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Bethan. I'm a student employability activator at ARU Cambridge, and I study writing of film as well. So can you tell me a bit about your role within the employability service?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm a work placements advisor and employer engagement advisor at ARU. I'm based in Cambridge, and I mainly support students that are in our Faculty of Business and Law and Faculty of Arts, Humanities, Education and Social Sciences. I work with both undergraduate and postgraduate students, so students that have selected something called a sandwich stick degree. So they study their first year, second year, and then do a year-long placement and come back and complete their final year. And then I also work with postgraduate students that have selected something called the professional experience, where they study their first year and they then do a year of professional experience and get to do a professional placement as part of that. So, question for me for Bethan. Can you tell me a bit about your role as a student activator?
Yeah, so I kind of work with careers events, also do careers week as well, where I'm supporting and helping students with their careers, encourage them to use the careers centre, also to sign in when they're visiting any of our careers events. And yeah, just helping them to encourage them to sign up to ARU Temps. And yeah, just giving them kind of that head start in just trying to encourage them with their CV as well. So yeah, a question for you. What does a typical day look like for you?
So, typical day, if I split it into kind of a working from home day and also a campus day, so we work kind of on a hybrid system. So typical campus day for me, one of the main things is we run a drop-in service. So there you'll find a member of the placements team. And then when I'm in Cambridge, I'm based in the career centre in the open access area of first floor of the lab building, just next to ARU Temps. You'll find me there for any kind of drop-in queries, and that can be anything from students asking just for general placement information, maybe a review of their CV. And at the moment, just because of the time of the year, it's been lots of queries around submitting placements for approval. And then around that, we also offer one-to-one student appointments. They're half-an-hour appointments. They can be virtual or in person. So typically, if I'm on campus, I'll be meeting with students in person. And then around that, I might even also be doing sort of in-curriculum or timetabled sessions. And this will be where I'll go and see students sort of in their course time, and it might be around raising the profile of placements, making them aware of placements as an option, the support that's available, but also we run workshops as well. So you might find me doing a CV from scratch workshop, or maybe doing a more tailored workshop towards the course that I'm working with. So that would be a typical campus day. Typical working from home day, obviously we offer the one-to-one appointments. So quite often if I'm working from home, it will be virtual appointments with students. It might also be appointments with or meetings with employers. So as part of my employer engagement role, we look to source opportunities for students. Sometimes we're really fortunate to get some exclusive placements, and that often comes from meeting with employers and making them more aware of the offer of having a placement student. And then kind of around all of that, it will be answering emails. So we have a general placements inbox. So if ever a student has a general query around placements, they'll send it to the inbox, and then our advisors will make sure it gets to the relevant person to give the best advice. So yeah, that's kind of a typical day either working from home or on campus. So Bethan, what inspired you to choose your particular course?
So I decided to do writing and film, and the reason I decided to do that was I love the creativity side of it. I kind of got the both ways of having film and also having creative writing. So the two of them together kind of gave me an idea of what I wanted to do postgraduate, but also additionally, I took a placement year to kind of help me decide what kind of creativity area that I wanted to go into. So I kind of went into marketing during my placement year, which kind of just gave me an idea of what I wanted, and it was kind of a dream role that I worked in. And so yeah, definitely it's helped me hone in what I wanted to do as well by taking writing and film, because it's such a broad area with the creativity. There's so much creativity within it, and there's so many job aspects that you could go into. So it hones it down by taking a placement year as well in marketing. And yeah, and it's something that I'll probably most likely do postgraduate as well. So yeah. Um, so how do you support students in their career development?
Yeah, so I guess like the most obvious part of our role is helping students source relevant work experience. Quite often when I'm supporting undergraduate students, one of the first things they say is, I want to do a placement, but I don't have any relevant work experience. And essentially that is the whole point of a placement. Employers aren't expecting students to be applying for placements with lots of relevant work experience. That's the purpose of the placement, but they just want to see some transferable skills that they can bring to that placement. So we work with students to source that, and also, as I said, work with postgraduate students to source relevant industry experience as well. Lots of employers are looking for students with relevant work experience when they graduate. So that's why doing a placement, doing professional experience can just be such a worthwhile opportunity to really gain maybe your first bit of relevant and lengthy work experience as well. So quite often employers are wanting to see that students have really had time to develop the skills and experience they're looking for. And by doing that, maybe 9 to 12 months, maybe even longer placement, the students really got an opportunity to develop their skills, develop their confidence, and really have an impact on the company as well. And it also can be a really valuable route into employment. So quite often, if employers have spent that time, training an individual up and spent those resources investing into that individual, then they may want that individual to return as an employee after they graduate. It can be a really valuable route into employment, but also can be a really valuable route to help you identify what you want to do, what you don't want to do. And really interesting, as Bethan said, working with you when you were looking for your placement, you were really open to what you wanted to do, and you were really open to the types of roles. And it's really interesting to hear now that after doing a marketing placement as a writing and film student, now you're thinking, actually, I want to go into social media marketing. So I guess I just think doing that placement option can just be so valuable to gain experience, see what you want to do in future, and ultimately enhance your CV, hopefully for future applications, or possibly gain future employment from it. What skills have you developed during your time at university that you think will be valuable in your future career?
So during my time at university, I think I definitely developed my creativity and working to deadlines. But by taking kind of that placement year, I think I developed even more skills, from communication skills from working within such a small team but within such a big company. Teamwork, communication skills, managing my time. I had a lot of deadlines. And we worked with a lot of external agencies, and we had to communicate with them as well. So I definitely developed my creativity because I managed their social media. I definitely have developed many skills, not only during my time at university, but during my placement year. And I hopefully will carry that to my postgraduate job. And so I think by taking that placement year, it's definitely helps me become more confident, and definitely gonna help me when I apply for jobs after university. So but um, what inspired you to work in the employability service?
I've been working at ARU for about 2.5 years now, and before that, I was a teacher and I was working in secondary school. And then whilst I was teaching, I sort of took on various leadership roles, and one of the first ones was head of year. And when I was head of year 11, I really noticed how, regardless of the student, of the situation, one thing that was always a really positive conversation was what they wanted to do after education, what their career aspirations were. And it was just such a powerful tool in terms of keeping them engaged with education and excited about education. So after I was head of year 11, I then took on a role leading on careers, and really enjoyed it, and got to the stage where I thought, actually, I'd like to do this full time. I'd like to work in higher education. And that's what then led me to applying for the role at ARU. And so far it's kind of like lived up to my expectations in terms of what I like doing, and how I enjoy working with students. Can you describe a specific instance where the employability service helped you with your career planning or job search?
Yeah. Me and you worked together for my placement year. I think we worked quite a bit over my second year. not only working on my CV, I think we were constantly developing it throughout the year, especially cover letters as well. I think every time I had a job that I wanted to apply for, I sent you a preview of my cover letter and you used to give me feedback. And then during it as well, once I got to the interview stage, because it did take a while to get to the interview stage, but we worked together also to develop kind of my interview answers as well. We did a lot of interview prep before I did an interview, and yeah, and that definitely helped me secure my placement, and it definitely supported me and gave me a bit more hope, because I was discouraged at the beginning of the year and I was like, oh, am I actually ever going to get a placement? But I'm so proud that we worked together and we actually did get a placement in such an amazing job, and that it's definitely helped me grow and develop. So yeah. What do you enjoy most about your job?
So, yeah, what I enjoy most links in really well with the answer you just gave. One of the things I really enjoy about the role is how much we get to work with students one-to-one. I just feel that, yeah, you can have so much more impact if you're working that closely with a student, getting to know a student. But also, I mean, yeah, one of the best things is hearing that a student's got a placement. So whether they come to see me on drop in or they send me an email or they give me a phone call, it's just the best thing about the role. And as you've just said, like, it's not an easy process. It takes a lot of time. It can require kind of so many applications, so much work as well. As you said, we worked a lot on tailoring your applications, reviewing your applications. So it's really time consuming. And also, not every interview is just that one stage. A student might go through several stages to get to that final interview. They might not get the first interview they go for. So it just requires so much resilience, so much patience. So to then get that email from a student that you've worked really closely with to hear that they've got a placement, yeah, it is definitely the best part of the job. So what are your career goals after university?
So my goal is, firstly, I'm going to take a month off and I am going to go traveling because I've done university for 4 years. So I was like, I definitely would like some time off. And I have worked throughout those 4 years as well, not only with part-time jobs, but also with my placement year. So that is my plan, first of all. And then my second plan is I really want to go into social media marketing. I mean, I'd be happy with any job in marketing, but yeah, I definitely want to go back into that world. I have missed it after being back in fourth year. I was like, oh my gosh, I miss being in office. So that's definitely my plan after university. And yeah, so currently I'm applying for jobs and using the employability service to help me apply for jobs as well. And yeah, so crossing my fingers that we get something. So yeah. What are some common mistakes students make when entering the professional world, and how can they avoid them?
So I would say one of the most common mistakes I come across, or one of the most common kind of comments that I get from placement students is, I've applied to so many and I haven't heard anything back. And then quite often when we delve a little bit deeper, essentially what's happened is they've just been using the same application and firing it off to every employer and every placement. Maybe they haven't taken the time to tailor it. They haven't taken the time to look at the job description and tailor it to the role or tailor it to the company. So I'd say that's one of the most common mistakes is not tailoring an application, but also not making use of our service. So if students are on a placement course or if they're on the professional experience, they will have a dedicated work placements advisor. And we are here to help with those things, whether it's finding a placement, whether it's tailoring applications, preparing for interviews, help with assessment centres. Whatever it is, that's exactly what we're here for. And as I said, we offer those half-an-hour appointments in person, virtually. So I think, yeah, a common mistake is not taking the time to tailor, but also just not making use of all the support that's available. Because if they do engage with us, there's so much support we can offer. Next question. What career path are you interested in pursuing after graduation? Or if you aren't sure, what actions are you taking to figure out your next steps?
So yeah, I'm definitely looking to go back into marketing. I'm kind of happy with any area. I mean, my placement year was marketing executive, and I worked on multiple areas of marketing through CRM, social media, campaign planning. So my first one was always social media marketing, but also I'm kind of looking at marketing executive roles as well. So I definitely think, even though it is marketing, there is so many broad job areas. I mean, I've just applied for a job that says communications marketing executive, and that covers social media campaign planning, running their website as well. So I mean, there's so many broad areas in marketing, but so yeah, I think that is my plan, and yeah, that's what I'm currently working on. Yeah. What impact do you hope to make through your work in the employability service?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I mentioned it earlier, is the whole purpose of the placements and professional experience is to really help students gain some relevant work experience, help enhance their CV, help with future career prospects. But I guess like one of the main things that I've really noticed come out of placements and that students comment on is just how much they've grown in confidence during that time. So I guess, yeah, whilst there's so much obvious value to doing a placement, there's also these other skills that might not seem as obvious that I think so many students develop, and quite often, yeah, commenting on how confident they feel after a placement. I mean, you mentioned earlier about the softer skills you develop as well in terms of your organisation, your communication. So yeah, I guess as well as getting valuable work experience, an impact that I think, yeah, we really hope to have is that how students can develop those transferable soft skills and be really ready for the workplace after they graduate. So what challenges have you faced in your job search and how have you overcome them?
I think the most challenges I face is having to come with the terms of having companies just say no. Sometimes not even making it through to the interview stage, and you think, well, why? I have all the experience. So it's definitely having the resilience to come back and apply, keep applying for jobs and keep going to interviews, because sometimes it can feel a bit down and it's hard work to keep applying for jobs, especially during the placement. I had more no's than I did any yeses. So it was kind of having that resilience to come back and keep applying and just keeping my fingers crossed that one of these would say yes. And eventually they did, and it was actually worth it in the end. So, and now that's kind of the advice I give to students as well, is just keep applying. And that's kind of the advice I give myself postgraduate as a student, sorry, applying for jobs. Just keep applying and keep going to the interviews, because all you need is one yes as well. So yeah, what advice would you give to students who are starting their job search?
So, I mean, yeah, I guess the main advice I'd give is just make use of the employability service and everything it has to offer as well. So I mentioned about all the one-to-one support, but also there's so many resources available to students 24/7 as well. So we have a career centre where if you're starting your job search, you can download CV templates. If you want instant feedback on your CV, we have a CV checker. We have like an interview tool as well on there. So there's so much resources and support available to students at ARU. So I'd say if you're starting a job search, if you're starting a placement search, just make use of that support. Even if the first thing you want to do is just come and see us at Drop In just for a quick query and just to, meet your placements advisor. Come and see us, book appointments with us and have a look at all the resources available on the Career Centre as well.